Okay, we are back with another episode of the Monday Preview Hockey Princess Show. Hockey Princess is out, so I put on my reporter hat and I will be going over the previews. Be two teams that we've just played, and then the Florida Panthers. So we'll go over a little bit of the Tampa Bay Lightning to start off with. We play Tampa Bay on Tuesday, the 28th. Tampa Bay currently sits at third in the Atlantic Division, 25-18-3, led by Kucherov, who's already got 70 points in 42 games and is killing it. They've got their top four of Kucherov, Point, Hagel, and Gensel. For those who were wondering how Steven Stamkos would be replaced on the Tampa Bay Lightning, Gensel's got 47 points in 45 games, so a little bit over a point a game clip, so he's doing just fine. I don't think they've missed Stamkos at all. Maybe come playoff time in the locker room they will, but as of right now, they're kind of just playing like Tampa Bay always does. Well, for the most part, in most of their games, occasionally they really lay an egg. The only big thing with Tampa is their backup goaltender has not played very well. So hopefully we don't get Vasilevsky, and hopefully we get one of their backup goaltenders, or their backup goaltender. Also, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Mosier is still out, their 24-year-old defenseman. So they've really been relying on their top three D-men of Darren Radish is one of those, brother of Radish, who used to play for the Hawks, who is kind of having a breakout year, getting top minutes, playing over 20 minutes a game, sometimes with Hedman, sometimes with McDonough. But he's really starting to come into his own. And then, of course, on the back end is Victor Hedman, who's playing probably about 22 minutes a game, doing the same things that he always does. So, playing incredible defense, running the power play. So, Tampa is 5-4-1 in their last 10. They've lost their last 2. We'll see. It's kind of the doldrums, especially a little bit before this break happens. So Hawks have the possibility of maybe getting lucky, not drawing Vasilevsky, and getting Tampa, looking past them a little bit. In a real scheduling quirk or whatever, the NHL has set up the Hawks to travel down to Tampa on Tuesday. Then they go up to Carolina on Thursday and then travel right back down to Sunrise, Florida, Saturday. So I don't know exactly why they're jumping around. Usually if they make one stop in Florida, they play both teams usually back-to-back. Starts in Tampa, ends in Florida, or vice versa. But for some reason, that hasn't happened. And they're shuffling them off to Carolina. As far as the Carolina game, we just played Carolina. We talked about it. The Hockey Princess had an excellent guest from Carolina. So I am not even going to talk about that one. If you want to hear about a little bit about the Canes, I suggest you tune in to last week's episode if you have not. And that leaves us now with the Saturday game, which will be against the Florida Panthers, defending Cup champions. Again, they have Ekblad is out, their top defenseman. But besides that, everybody else is basically healthy. Their top group is doing what their top group always does. So you've got Barkov, you've got Bennett, and you've got Reinhart. Those are the top three, and of course Tkachuk. So they're able to put up a ton of points. Their only issue is their top line has struggled at times to keep the puck out of the net. They've they were going with Verhaeghe, Kachuk, and Sam Bennett together, and they've really been schooled a little bit. Just going over, Carter Verhaeghe is a -18 and plus-minus. Again, we don't give that a lot of credence in the world, but it's still, anything with that kind of number definitely jumps out at you and says, wow. Especially for a team like Florida. One player to watch on Florida is Jasper Boquist, who is getting third and fourth line minutes in really taking that opportunity. He's only got 20 points in the year so far, but he has really filled a nice spot for them in that bottom six, adding some toughness and adding some scoring ability. Of course, fan favorite on this show is the, other big defenseman for this team. That'd be Gustav Forsling, who is eating up minutes like crazy. And just to give you some comparison, Goose is a +21 on this team. So it just lets you know, for some reason, that top line is struggling. Anton Lundell is scoring at a little bit more of a pace also. He's got 31 points in 48 games. And then basically you have Bob, which he's at about 2.83 for his goal against, a little high, and an .897 save percentage, which isn't the greatest. Bob has kind of been up or down. Kind of the way Bob operates during the regular season. And his numbers get a little bit inflated just because at times when things go bad, he really becomes a sieve for a game or two, and that inflates his numbers. Spencer Knight is having a nice bounce back year. He's already played in 17 games. They're basically going on a 2-1 spurt. 2 games for Bob, 1 for Spencer. He's got a 2.43 goals against and a .907 save percentage. Both not bad at all. Florida Panthers are also 5-4-1 in their last 10. Again, you know what the Florida Panthers bring you. I would assume they'll coast through the first 2 periods of this game and then bring it on in the third. For any of those interested, there is also another Boquist on this team, Jasper's brother, who used to play for the Blackhawks, Adam. Adam hasn't played since January 3rd. He's not playing a ton for them. He's played in 18 games, so that's kind of my report on him. With all that, this is their nice little Florida trip. So it's a good chance for the guys to get some sun. That is all for this report.